Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of You, Me, and He. I am your host, Rob Lambert, and I'm joined by my co-host.
What's the matter with you? He didn't even finish the sentence.
Drew Carroll.
Josh Frankenstein.
If you're wondering if this is the first time we did this intro for this episode, the answer is no. This is not the first time.
This is take number 5, actually.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, we just want to say thanks for listening. Welcome to the show, episode 62. Guys, we're getting really close to that special number. How you feeling about that?
Still pretty far away, like a year away.
Yeah, what special number?
Oh, I was like number 100. That's what I was saying.
It's like a year away, dude.
62, let's see. Pretty sure that's 38 more episodes, one a week. There are 52 weeks in a year.
We don't always even get one a week.
That's true.
We're looking at a year, dude.
Guys, it was a joke. It was supposed to be a misdirect. So that's cool.
Oh, in that case,
It's all good.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, sure. Psyched.
Whatever. Hey, as always, make sure wherever you get your podcast, you leave us a review. Make sure you subscribe. Check us out on Patreon. All that good stuff. Tonight we were talking about... what did we talk about on Patreon?
How much Andrew could swallow.
We didn't talk about that.
Nutella and... Oh, yeah, that's right. Cool. So Patreon.
So that's all we talked about.
Hulu show. Oh, Abducted or whatever. And then Nathan
For You.
Nathan For You.
Oh, Nathan For You. Yeah, that was it. There you go. I couldn't remember the name of the show. Yeah. And then, yes, I did watch Netflix documentary Abducted in Plain Sight. It will blow your freaking mind. So just go watch it. It'll give you nightmares. So there you go. Anyways, guys, tonight we will get into the most recent episode of Game of Thrones. We'll save it for the end.
No.
Oh, wait. Drew,
No, I'm just
you
kidding.
not-
I saw it.
Oh, you. We were texting some spoilers earlier, and she was like, I haven't seen it yet.
Aisel.
I didn't, but I have seen it now.
Yeah, dude, we'll talk about it later tonight. And some controversy. I don't know how to speak right now. Some controversy. The internet's blowing up about this season, and we're gonna kind of talk about that. So we'll get there. But before we do, guys, the last couple of weeks, I live like right around the corner from a Chick-fil-A, and it is glorious.
Dude,
But I've had
that would be so bad for my wallet if I lived right around the corner from a Chick-fil-A. Like, I would be going poor. Well, my kids would be going poor.
dude, all you got to do is get that app, and then just get those points, and then you get free food. It's so good for you.
It would be amazing, but I don't live next to a Chick-fil-A like you do, so
Nowhere near one.
no.
And every time I go there, the line is insanely long.
How close is the closest Chick-fil-A for you?
Fresno.
Guys?
And Fresno needs more than the 2 that they currently have.
Babe.
There's 2.
Yeah, there's one over by the mall, and then one over in the big shopping center, River Park.
I was going to say River Run, but that's not it.
Yeah, I wish.
River
dude.
Park. Yeah,
I bet you they would have one in River.
dude.
Run.
That line,
probably
like, it's like Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out are trying to have a competition daily. That's what it looks like when you stop by over there. They're just like,
Oh, yeah,
competing
dude.
for who has the longest drive.
And they're both winning.
Managers just come out raining Benjamins.
Yeah, dude.
For real. So I've had 2 run-ins at my local Chick-fil-A recently that were sort of interesting. So the first one was I'm in line and I am ordering my food, and I'm literally having a conversation with the lady behind the counter. And in my periph, I see what can only be described as a woman who looks like she just rolled out of bed. She's one of those ladies who's got like this. She's like wearing sweats and a sweatshirt, but it's like 2 p.m. And it's almost summer.
What a dream.
Yes,
She's probably got
yes, a dream.
she's probably got like that messy hair, don't care on the front of her sweater. I didn't really take a look, but she's coming up in my periph, and I'm literally in the middle of ordering. And as she walks up, I think to myself, she's got to be like meeting somebody on the other side of me or something. No. She's coming to talk to the person at my register. And this is what she says. This is what she interrupts my order. She goes, excuse me? Is it true that you guys marinate your chicken in pickle juice?
Please tell me you
Because
turned
my
in
mother-in-law... Because my mother-in-law says that that's true, and I don't believe her. Now, I'm having to stop my order because of this question, and the lady at the register just has this look on her face, and she looks at the lady and she's like, I don't know. I don't work in the kitchen. And I have the look on my face that can only be described as those moments when Jim Halpert looks right in the camera and his eyes get really big and his mouth does that like. She's like, I actually don't know. I don't work back in the kitchen, so I don't know. And she's like, it's just that my mother-in-law says that it's marinated in pickle juice, and I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. So, okay. And then she's starting to walk away, but then she turns around like one last time, and she's like, pickle juice. And then she walks away.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. So then I just continued ordering, but
did you order a jar of pickle juice?
No. There's no way. There's no freaking way that they do it in pickle juice. Are you kidding me?
Why not? Sounds perfect. Pickled chicken.
What if they do?
Oh yeah. That sounds so good. And by so good, I mean so not delicious.
Would it sound good though if that is exactly what they do?
Okay, hang on a second. Let me Google this.
You don't have to do that. I mean,
it's a rhetorical question. Like,
I'm not looking for facts
would
here.
it sound good if that's what they actually did? Since you love Chick-fil-A.
Oh man.
Here's another rhetorical question. Let's say that they smothered their chicken in dog feces.
Does it bother you?
You still love it because you eat it all the time, but now you just have the knowledge that they smothered their chicken in dog feces.
But
touche.
So that, but with pickle juice.
So dog feces, but really pickle juice. Okay, so actually, as I'm typing it into my Google search bar, it auto corrects to, does Chick-fil-A marinate their chicken in freaking pickle juice? Oh my gosh.
That crazy lady might be onto something.
I know, for real. It says Chick-fil-A won't confirm the theory that a pickle juice bath is a secret to the famous chicken sandwich, but this tenderizing trick still works on any kind of lean meat. Pork, turkey, and of course chicken breast can soak in this zesty brine to pick up a moist texture and some dill flavor from pickling spices. Messy hair don't care. Also, Chick-fil-A guru, apparently.
Chick-fil-A guru.
So to that, all I say is pickle juice. So
I salute you.
I guess so. So then the other thing that happened at Chick-fil-A is I was shamed. I was shamed by the person behind the counter.
You were shamed. How were you shamed?
So I walked into my local Chick-fil-A one day, and I was just on, like, it was one of those days where I needed like a little extra, if you know what I mean. And so I just got this great idea. I just said, you know what, self, you know what would be so tasty is a chicken sandwich, but instead of one chicken, I want two chickens in it. Okay? I want one thing of bread. I want regular bread, but I want two chickens inside. And I don't know if Chick-fil-A had a secret menu, but I'm like, I'm just going to order this.
We call this the Pollo Diablo.
They had to call the manager to come over and confirm for me that is what I was actually ordering. The person didn't know how to put it into the machine. But then the manager looks at the screen, listens to how the person describes it, and then looks at me and she's like, no, you understand. The chicken, it's very big. And I'm like, yeah, no, I get it. Can I get two inside? Just like a double, double. And she's like,
look, go across the parking lot. In-N-Out does this all day long. If you're having trouble understanding, just go ask them. They'll tell you how to do it.
20 by 20. You got it.
And they just they give you a thumbs up and you don't feel bad at all.
Yeah. Then they bring it out on 3 trays.
Yeah. So I'm like, no, yeah, I totally get it. Yes, I want to do that. And she's like, okay. And apparently she needed like a manager override to make this happen. So not only did I get the sandwich, and not only was it delicious, by the way, you can do this. I decided to go home and Google, does Chick-fil-A have a secret menu? And you're not going to freaking believe this.
They do.
Don't.
This is countryliving.com. Okay. This is a well-known journalistic resource that you can find in any checkout aisle in the supermarket.
I have a subscription.
This was...
Go on.
Do you?
Welcome to mid-30s, huh?
I mean...
Welcome to 36. Trade your
live in
ESPN
the
for country
country, so-
living.
So this is an article from countryliving.com. This was published in February of 2018. 12 insanely delicious things you need to order from Chick-fil-A's secret menu ASAP. Number 1, double-decker sandwich. I just want to yell right now, but I'm trying not to. Number 1 is a freaking double-decker sandwich, and they had to call over the manager.
Dude,
She had to look at me.
it's such a secret that the employees have no idea about it.
I guess so.
It's like
I was expecting her to
nuclear
be like,
codes.
Yeah, dude.
I know. I'm expecting her to be like, now, you understand the chicken. It's very big. And I'm like, no, I get it. I totally get it. And then she's like, okay. And she reaches under, pulls out a clipboard. Can you sign this? Do I need to I don't know. Sign a freaking waiver or something. It was ridiculous. So, okay. So the 12 items, double-decker sandwich is number freaking 1. Cheese fries.
Okay.
I'm just going to let that pause for a second. Cheese fries. Doesn't that sound delicious?
That doesn't sound abnormal.
Yeah.
That actually sounds
What a
very
twist.
simple.
For a secret menu, that's super disappointing. So far, we have a double sandwich and then cheese fries.
This is a secret menu put together by M. Night Shyamalan. What a twist. Okay.
He spent too much time trying to convince them with the second patty. I would have just ordered 2 sandwiches and put them on in the same bread, dude.
I didn't want double bread,
I'm
dude.
done with this. And the
didn't want the
bread
double
is like
bread.
what doesn't cost you anything. It's like 10 cents, man, for the buns. Like, just order 2 sandwiches and stick them together.
Get the bread.
Do I
get the
work-
bread for both of them, and then next time you only have to get chicken.
Just save it.
You really want to throw them for a loop? Yeah, do that.
Just show up
So,
holding 2 buns and be like, can you put some chicken in this?
Dude, if
My
you
own bread.
have like a portable vacuum sealer and just put it up on the counter and vacuum seal that immediately, and they'd be like, "What the heck?"
Oh, man. Okay, so other items. The spicy char, which I guess is like a char grilled sandwich with the spicy version of that. So go nuts. Dude, okay, so this one, chicken quesadilla.
Ooh,
Getting crazy.
I mean, I wouldn't have expected it, but okay.
dude, this sounds like Pedro's. It's just what Pedro's has on their menu all the time. We don't have secrets. We make everything.
Okay, as I'm reading more of this, it's getting harder and harder to take it seriously because one of the secret menu items is lettuce wrapped sandwiches.
You mean Atkins style?
Okay, wait a minute.
Protein
Okay,
style?
yeah, exactly. Okay, the very last one. You know what, Chick-fil-A, you guys. The very last one is the double down. So do you remember the double down from KFC?
No.
Okay, so the double down from KFC was like they took two fried chicken patties as the bun, and then they put stuff in between it, and so you held the chicken patties as the bun and then bit into it with stuff in between.
Oh, okay.
How
yeah,
have you never had a heart attack?
Dude, that sounds... Yeah, that's so bad for you. It's like
For the
wrapped
record,
in
I've never had
bacon.
one. For the record, I've never had one, but right here on the secret menu, the double down, this over-the-top bunless sandwich packs 2 slices of the fried chicken between 2 more fried chicken patties with cheese and bacon between each slice. Are you freaking kidding me?
Dude, that is...
That sounds like something from My 800-Pound Life.
Yeah. This is what started down that road.
I couldn't give you the surgery. I don't know why you're not losing weight.
You want to know where that leads? Go watch your TV.
So all that to say, everything I thought I knew about Chick-fil-A is a lie. Apparently, pickle juice is a thing, and I'm the crazy one asking for double chicken. So,
Stop supporting them.
nah, I can't do that. Anyways, there you go. Josh, How you doing, man?
Well, I don't know if you guys can tell, but like my voice keeps going in and out. So, it was kind of a bad week, I mean, I was a little sick. And I had 2 meltdowns out on the baseball field this week. So
Nice.
Excellent. Oh, tell us more, please.
So, dude, I have been a good coach all year long, all season long. I've been a good coach. I choose to hold my tongue. I don't say anything. I don't make a scene out on the field. If I disagree with an umpire, I wait until between innings, and then I go tell them what the actual rule says and how they better get it right next time. And I always make sure I mention that I played baseball all the way through college until I was 21 also, just, for a little extra jab.
And then I have a 45 and a shovel.
That's next week. You gotta save something for the tournament, dude. Anyway, so this last week I just lost it, man. I not in a bad way. Like it's like I was more pushed into that realm, right? It all started with the first game of the week, and we were playing a team that just like one of my kids, dude, who hasn't been hitting all season, like finally ropes a ball, right? Just finally ropes one, and it goes down the left field line, and the umpire makes no call on it. Like literally from first base where I'm standing, it looks like it's a fair ball. So I'm like yelling at the kid to run and go around, and he goes around first and he gets to second base. And by the time he gets into second base, all the coaches from the opposite side are screaming and yelling and ranting and raving. And then I see all their fans in the stand like yelling at the umpire. And all of a sudden,
How old are these kids?
Oh, this kid's like 18, dude. 17.
No. How old are the kids that are playing?
Oh, 9.
Oh, perfect.
9 years
Love
old.
it.
Yeah, 9 years old. And the umpire like looks around real quick and then calls foul ball. And I just lost it, dude. I just freaking lost it. I got so loud. I started stomping towards like home plate and just telling the guy like, what is going on? You got to make a call. What are you doing? You said it was fair. Now you're saying it's foul. Who the hell cares what these people have to say? And I'm pointing at the crowd as I'm saying it, pointing at the coaches. And I was like, you guys got to stop doing this crap. Be more consistent. Matt, my good buddy who's coaching with me, had to come and like back me up because apparently the league is being really like tough this year on
coaches.
Well, yeah, like that type of reaction. So he had to go talk to the umpire, and the call stood, and in between innings, I did what I always do.
Threatened him.
I went back and not caused a scene, right? And I told the kid, and I was like, look, dude, you can make a bad call. And someone like me will look past a bad call and forget it. You make a bad call and then you reverse that bad call. Ooh, it's not good on the ball field, buddy. Like you need to get it right the first time and stand by your call no matter who throws their ape crap around, right? And so like, I mean, after I got back, Matt was like, is everything cool? You good? And I was like, hey dude, I didn't lose it. It's all good, right? Not a big deal. So I decided to just stay in the outfield for the rest of the games. I wouldn't say another word to anybody.
It's like, I'm going to go get a snow cone.
I'm gonna go get a snow. One guy did. That was game 2. So our second game, dude, we open up the game and our kids are like just tearing the cover off the ball, like hitting, right? And I have one kid, dude, that just like hit a really hard ground ball, ran all the way through first base and like went into the outfield. Like that's how hard he ran. Like he just kept running like Forrest Gump, like after the base. And I had to call him back. I was like, hey, get back over here. Anyway, he runs all the way up the base and he's coming back towards the bag again. And one of the coaches from the other team, who like their dugout is right by the first baseline, starts screaming.
Tag him?
Yeah, to tag him. And immediately starts saying other things like, tag him. He's out of the baseline. He's out. Tag him. Like all this crap. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I'm calming down and like I'm telling the kid, like, just get back over to the bag. First baseman brings the ball over, tags the player. Umpire calls him out.
All because that coach was yelling that.
I lost it, dude. Like right away. Like I got all up in her face. Well, not like all up in her face, but from like 8 feet away, I'm screaming and yelling, dude. And I'm getting pissed because, I'm just like freaking throwing the rule book out there. Like the kid just ran past, came immediately back to the base. That's not an out. That's an exception. He's allowed to run past. He doesn't have to go outside the line. He just doesn't have to make a move to second, just like yelling and berating. And then the guy who was ranting and raving starts screaming at me for screaming at her. And so like he and I immediately just start like getting into it and jawing at each other because he's accusing
kicking
me.
dirt on each other's shoes.
No, we
and
never
stuff?
got to that, but that would have been funny. But he's accusing me of trying to control the game because I'm yelling at the umpire. So like I'm yelling back at him like, who are you? You started saying stupid crap that you know nothing about before a call was even made. Like you're trying to manipulate the game. So like, dude, everyone can see this and everyone can hear it. The stadium is quiet and all you hear is the two of us just like jawing at each other, right? To the rescue, my buddy Matt has to come out onto the field.
Oh, no. I imagine, do you remember in Angels in the Outfield where Danny Glover like runs over to like chew the guy out and then all of a sudden Christopher Lloyd is the Angels behind him and he's like, that never in my life have I ever heard of such a horrible, masterful call. He's like, oh, and by the way, good day, sir.
Yeah, dude, it was hilarious. He had to come over and calm me down. And then he convinced the umpire to change her call. Apparently talking nice is a lot better than screaming. Supposedly, no matter how right you are. I guess it doesn't matter.
How pissed was that other coach?
Oh, so angry, dude. So angry. Like after the call was made, he and I were still jawing at each other. Like just
after she reversed it?
After she reversed it. And he started telling me stuff like, why don't you go be the umpire? And I was like,
maybe I will.
Yeah. Hey,
I did
buddy.
say that.
I'm not a fortune teller, but I'm pretty sure you're going to have a crappy season next year.
Oh, man.
I'm just like,
you're never going to win a game.
in my head, I'm thinking this has gotten so ridiculously out of hand at this point. But the other side of me is like, no, these are my kids. I got to keep going, right? I got to keep John. And anyway, dude, guy just ends up throwing his hands in the air and like walking off the field. Didn't come back. just not even an out into the game, dude. It just like left and didn't even come back.
Oh, man.
I was like,
And
this
then he
is
went
perfect.
and got a snow cone.
The snow cone ladies are just like, oh, here comes another one.
Yeah, for real. Just another Saturday morning.
Don't give them tiger's blood. It makes them crazy.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Anyway, so yeah, dude, like, I probably sound the way I sound because a little bit of it is sickness. And I've yelled more in the past week than I've yelled all season long. So
Sounds like it.
I have to say, man, I'm kind of proud of myself. Like, baseball's my thing. I love it. It's in my blood. So
What if your guys' argument across the field just turned into like, I'm sorry, I'm not mad at you. I'm just have a heavy workload at work. Very stressed out right now.
I get it. I
I'm
do
sorry
too.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
But I'm just taking it out on you. I hope that's okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Do you want to hang out later? Only if you buy me a beer.
Anyway,
Nice.
Fine, you pick the place.
you picked the place.
It sounds awesome. Maybe I will coach something. Sounds awesome.
I don't know, dude. Like, I mean, some people take it a little too serious. Like, it gets way too competitive. And for me, dude.
Yes, some people do.
I'm about ready to explain this one. It's not about the competition.
It's the principle.
As I said, there are a lot of things I've let go and did not say a word on all season long. But you do get to a point, man, where you get tipped over because, like, you see calls being made that are like, That is not a legal call. Like, not a legal call.
Dude, how long before you think they hire like a mediator to come out? Okay, time out.
So
Tell them how you feel, Josh.
Every game now, or every team in Little League is supposed to have, I forget what the position is called, but basically it's someone who's a non-biased individual.
Every team has a non-biased individual.
It's not a player agent. I forget what it's called, dude.
Gosh.
And they're supposed to step in and stop things like that from happening, and like, you know, calm it down and like take it off the field. Not one time have I ever seen it happen.
So what do they do
Ever.
there?
I don't know.
But no one even knows who they are. They're secret.
You just
That's
find
how they say non-biased.
everyone who knows you finds out later after you die. So
Oh,
it's like a
man.
secret society of little leaguers.
That's crazy. Crazy.
That's
Awesome.
nuts,
No, it's
dude.
good times, dude. It's good times. So, yeah, the one team so far this year that I didn't expect to have any issues with has been the one that I've had the most run-ins with, which has been kind of funny. It always goes that way.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so that was my week, dude.
That's cool.
Adventures in Little League, 9-year-old Little League.
Dude, I have a feeling one day you're going to be on one of those Reddit videos. Like
Nope.
two dads boxing out in the middle of the field.
Oh my god.
Did you not listen to like any of the story at all, or?
Maybe it doesn't have to be your fault. You know, one of those dudes comes unhinged, you're not going to defend yourself.
That's why I have my wooden bat.
Even worse, dude.
You got to defend your honor and the honor of your team.
What's the team's name?
The Nationals.
Right after he clocks him, Nationals.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, that's cool.
Dude, that has all the making of an Adam Sandler movie right there.
Yeah, no kidding, dude. Nice. Oh, well, let's talk about me.
Every time you say something with that quirky face, it scares me.
So last night, Elizabeth and I, we had our first date night since we've had the baby.
Oh baby. Or no baby.
Yeah, no baby, no baby.
Oh my gosh.
So we went to Indian food at the first place that I took her for dinner, which at the time I didn't realize that she was a super picky eater. But it turned out to be one of her favorites. So we went there, dude.
So weird.
And we got tickets from a friend of ours to go see Carrie Underwood in Fresno.
Oh yeah.
And it's not something I would normally go to, but it was really good. I felt really out of place. I didn't actually know how I was supposed to move there. Like, you know, when you're at a rock show, you know you're just going to have
Not the line dancing type, huh?
No one was doing that. Dude, it was such a weird crowd, like, because you had, like, pretty old
Moms.
people. Yeah, dude.
Oh, okay.
Lots of drunk single moms, or maybe not single, but they sure
Not
acted
after
single.
tonight.
Woo girls.
Yeah, dude.
Woo girls.
Yeah, it was such an odd crowd, dude. And I was just sitting there, and I felt really conflicted because I'm like, all right, I don't really know too many of these songs, and I don't feel like I can move to them without feeling weird because it's a chick country star, you know.
Right.
You don't want to be too into it, but you also
If you're gonna
don't
be
want to
moving,
not be into it.
it can't be by yourself. You have to be touching your girl in some way, arm
Oh,
around,
gosh.
whatever. It doesn't matter. You know, you can't be doing it alone. Not as a
Nah,
guy.
dude. When Jesus Takes the Wheel comes on, I'm like all about that shiz. I'm just
That's actually when
He pushes the wife away and is like, "This is my jam. I need space."
that's when we left, dude, and we probably should have stayed because all these chicks were like peak drunk.
oh yeah.
So you
Oh,
know that
no.
would have been like the most annoying.
Surprisingly, that was the last song, and it was everyone's prayer going home.
Oh man. That's awesome.
So when I'm in these situations, I like to do some people watching. And
yeah.
the stage was cool. It was like a big circle, and then there was like a platform that went down the middle, so that there was 2 sections that the stage went all the way around. And there was people there, and we were in one of those sections. So we're like super close, dude. And I can see they kept walking around, so we had to keep turning around and like watching them perform on different parts of the stage, which was kind of tough. Everyone around us is drunk, dude, so they're moving like 7 feet when they turn.
Oh no.
So we're watching this, dude, and I'm watching all the people that are up in the bleachers, and I noticed this couple, dude. There's this huge sign, massive sign, probably 4 feet wide, dude. And I saw it come down, and there's these 2 people sitting behind that sign, dude, probably in their 50s, with the grumpiest face. Because this girl, every time Carrie Underwood comes by, she puts this sign up, dude, and it blocks their view.
It's so epic, dude.
And she has no idea. And they're just not saying anything, dude.
Why would you not just like grab that thing at one time
Break it,
and just break it and throw it? Just chuck it and get it out of there. Like,
So it made me think, like, because you see them all the time at these events, and is that okay?
Dude, if you're at a wrestling show, I mean, you got to bring a sign.
Dude, everybody has signs at everything.
Banner man.
Dude, and it's all for a wave. You're only going to get a wave at best.
At best.
And it may not even be to you.
If you get a point and a nod, I mean,
What do
like
you...
a thumbs up?
Carrie,
you know, like-
Carrie... You...
Nice sign. Dude, maybe it'll be this real, like this surreal moment where she'll be like,
You never know. You might get a buddy Jesus.
Hey, dude, hang on.
Oh,
You're not done.
what if you have like this real like crazy moment though where she's like in the middle of belting it out, dude. She's just like, Jesus, take, and then she's like, wait a minute, everybody stop. Everybody look at that sign. Like that would be like the high point of your life, right?
Not mine. But apparently somebody's.
If you're bringing a sign to a Carrie Underwood concert, I mean, that's got to be your dream. I mean,
Yeah, dude, so I've never been to a show at the Save Mart Center where I showed up almost at the time of showtime and the whole parking lot was full. We had to park in excess space. I had no idea that she was that popular and people cared that much.
Yeah, dude. She's new Faith Hill.
It was a kind of show I've never really seen before. Like, she's a pretty big
Did she have an opener?
star. She had 2.
Who opened?
I don't know the first band, and then the second one was Maddie and Tay. It's 2 girls.
Sure.
It was a country. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
wait, are those the girls that are
Nashville?
On, yeah.
From what?
Nashville?
The show?
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Oh,
no, it's not.
Sure.
I just googled them.
not.
It's definitely.
Oh, okay.
I
All
bet
right.
they do live in Nashville.
They look
the show.
like. I just
The show
googled them.
Nashville.
They look like Carrie Underwood.
One of them does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. But some
Awesome.
things that I noticed about her, like, no, Star, that big dude, like, it was really crazy to see her get up and how these extremely expensive pieces of clothing have, like, pockets sewn on them that blend in for her in-ear monitor. And she does, like, 5 wardrobe changes.
Nice.
And so you know that
geez.
stuff is, like...
Sorry, I did not mean for that to sound as perverted as it did.
He's all, did they show it?
He's like, how did you get tickets to this?
What was that seating called? But it was just crazy, dude. I've never seen, like, there was a guy, his only job was he would run around the stage with this pole, and on the top of it was a cup holder, and then inside that was a cup of water, and he would hand it up to her whenever she looked down at him.
Wait, so he's just running all over the stage with this cup of water,
He shows up everywhere.
ready to offer it
If
to her
he's
at a
running
moment's notice.
around, I guarantee you that cup is empty more times than not when he's pushing it up.
He's just sucking it back, dude. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We're just spilling it everywhere.
But yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Oh my gosh.
Good times.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. All right. Well, you know what, fellas? Why don't we talk about what we've learned, and then we can move on to the latest episode of Game of Thrones. And that way, if people haven't seen it, or if they don't want the spoilers, then they can tune out. Sounds good?
Let's do it.
Number one, I think the first thing that we've learned tonight is that everything that you think you know about Chick-fil-A is a complete lie. And if you try to discover the truth, they will shame you. Pickle juice. Number two. Number two. It's kind of a two-parter. I think number one, we all need to go back and watch Angels in the Outfield because there's some good life lessons to learn from Danny Glover. And I think we've also learned that snow cones really do fix everything. So
Just not tiger blood.
that's true. But actually, number three, I think the thing that we've also learned is that we could all benefit from a guy running around with a water on a pole. And if that water on the pole happened to have tiger's blood, oh, baby, you would be in business. So there you go. And hey, we just want to say thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting the show. We are going to move on to Game of Thrones now. So if you are not ready for it, if you're not ready for the spoilers,
Jon Snow dies.
Oh.
Sorry.
I was going to bleep that out, but I actually ran out of bleeps recently, so we don't get more bleeps until next month's shipment, so I can't really bleep that out. So sorry, guys. Dang it.
Sounds like we
make
need
sure
to invest.
Yeah. So yeah, if you don't want your spoilers, then you need to get out now because we're going in 3, 2, 1. Okay, guys, talk to me about Season 8, Episode 5. We are one episode away from the ending, and this season and this episode getting some hate. Just give me your initial reactions.
Dude,
what did you think?
Every episode has gotten hate. Whatever. Even as many complaints as you have, it's still the best show on TV. By far. What more do you want, dude? And I'm not talking to you. I just keep seeing like nothing but like negative stuff. And I get it. Maybe it doesn't have as full of content, as the previous seasons, but it's still good, dude. It's still great.
You guys don't feel like it's being rushed? Like the entire
this
story
battle
is
was
being
very rushed.
No.
That dragon came
This
in.
was not a battle. As this writer from CNN puts it, Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 5 recap. Just one long 80-minute.
Dude, as soon as she took off, I was like, holy crap.
This was written by A.J. Willingham from CNN. By the way, this article, not only does it encompass everything that I thought about this last episode, it was freaking hilarious. It was so good. If someone
so Josh, what about you? Your initial reactions. What did you think about this episode?
Dude, I wasn't the biggest fan. Like, I really wasn't the biggest fan. I seriously felt like I felt like after the writers killed off the White Walkers, they were basically like, so now what do we do? I feel like that's been the theme. Like since that battle.
even they were surprised when the Night King got killed, and they're like, wait, we still got like 3 more episodes. Wait, guys, what are we doing?
Hold on. I want to read you some stuff from this article because I just got a kick out of it. I thought it was great. Okay. If someone asks you what happened this week on that little dragon show you watch, you are more than allowed to just scream at full volume for an hour and 20 minutes because that's what this episode was. Just one long 80-minute. Ah! Things start off quietly enough. Without Missandei around to braid her hair and apply her under-eye concealer, Daenerys is leaning into a foreshadowing fiery genocide aesthetic while moping around Dragonstone. She's mad at Jon, mad at Tyrion, and especially mad at Varys for going around blabbing about Jon's true lineage. It appears the Master of Whispers has become the Master of discussing deadly secrets at full volume. And before you can even get emotionally prepared for this week's carnage, everyone's standing on the beach looking stoic, and Dany is sentencing Varys to death, and Dragon is burying his 3,000 teeth, and wow, we're off to the races. One major character death down, a shocking amount left to go. Tyrion, full of doubt and fear, and definitely not used to either, finds Jaime, who has been captured and imprisoned at Dragonstone. The two brothers share a good hug, and Tyrion outlines a plan for Jaime to escape with Cersei and start a new life in Essos, where ostensibly they are more forgiving of murderous incest. But first, it's time for war. The mood is tense in King's Landing, where throngs of common folk are being herded inside for the Red Keep, and the Golden Fleet and the Iron Company are assuming their positions as unwitting dragon appetizers. If Dany's general haggard appearance wasn't foreshadowing enough, we get lots of good salty-the-earth shots of the innocent citizens of King's Landing with their doe-eyed children in tow. By the laws of television, you only get affectionate close-ups of the unwashed if something really, really terrible is about to happen to them. And happen it does. Drogon drops out of the sky like a 10-ton seagull, and within minutes, the Iron Fleet, the Golden Company, and all the Lannisters' fancy dragon-killing equipment is flambéed to oblivion. Grey Worm, who is so deep in his feelings he completely forgets his helmet, dispatches the leader of the Golden Company, and with that, the Unsullied and the spattering of remaining Dothraki set sacking the city. It's a laughably easy win for Daenerys and company. Even Cersei sees it, perched atop the Red Keep, with a concerned, how do you say his name? Qyburn? Did I say that right?
Yes.
I forget.
Yeah, Qyburn,
I forget how it's said in the show. Side note, old Cersei must be about 500 months pregnant now. So why does she have the belly of someone who had like 5 bites of a burrito for lunch? Anyway, Dany goes full Mad Queen and burns the living hell out of everything. Innocent children, you get a Dracarys. Entire city blocks, you get a Dracarys. Everyone gets a Dracarys. Jon and Tyrion's faces say it all. This is definitely not how it was supposed to go. Anyway, article keeps going on, dude. I thought it was freaking hilarious. You can go and read it. CNN. I don't want to mess up the best parts for you, but all I kept thinking was when he said that, I kept thinking Oprah. You get a Dracarys. You get a Dracarys. You get a Dracarys.
It was awesome. So speaking of the whole like Master of Whispers thing, I saw this great meme on Reddit. There's a subreddit called Free Folk. I don't know if you've ever checked that out, but the title of the post is great writing, by the way. And so it's like a 2-panel. So the top panel is a picture of Varys, and in quotes it says Master of Whispers. And then the second panel is him talking to Jon Snow, and it says, "Hey, Jon, want to commit treason?" Oh, it's so bad. Okay, so I feel like this season's getting a lot of hate. I feel like this episode got a lot of hate. The turn that Daenerys made, like there's so many people who are kind of like they didn't either see this coming or they don't understand why the writers went in this direction. They were disappointed by it. Like, talk to me about her just going ballistic. For you, was that like oh geez, what are they doing, or did it make sense for you?
I think it makes sense. She just burnt down the city that her dad was going to blow up.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
It didn't bother me. It really didn't bother me. I didn't care. I didn't care to see Daenerys go all Mad Queen on everyone and everything. This is what bothered me. This is why I felt like everything was so lazy. You have seasons of character development. Like all of us have spent all this time like following these characters You've seen them like at their peak, at their lows, everything, like who they are, right? And I feel like the writers were like, you know what? Let's throw everyone for a loop. We're going to take everyone's character back to season 1. That's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Like that's how I felt about it. Like I thought it was lazy writing. Like we're going to give them the unpredictable of all unpredictables. Like watching Jamie go through like everything that he went through, right? You follow his story. I'm just going to use him as an example. Dude was a total douche beginning of the show. And like you watch his character, and as he like drifts apart from Cersei and he goes through his low points, you start to see this redemption story. Until the very end of the show, it's like he turns his back on all that and just goes back to who he was at the beginning of the show. Cersei, who becomes this like powerful, like really great antagonist, all of a sudden realizes she really does care about nothing else but the baby or the child that she's carrying in her stomach, like in those waning moments, you know, and like Daenerys just ends up living up to the family name of the Mad King. Like, you know, in the end, kind of going back to the beginning of the story. And I just felt like, dude, you've portrayed these characters as a certain individual, like all the way up to this point, and then you just like betrayed everything that you did for 7 years.
I don't feel like that's necessarily the case, you know, because she always talked about breaking the wheel, and it just turns out that she is also a part of that wheel. You know, like she set out to do something different, and she did everything exactly the same. You know, I don't think that I don't know. I'm okay with it, dude. I'm fine with what they've done so far.
Yeah.
I feel like this is something that they've been slowly building towards and teasing for a very long time. And when you hear the things that she says, when she talks about, you know, bending the knee, you know, they will bend the knee or they will die. Like all of these things, like
she's been doing
the crazy
it for
is
seasons
there
now.
is what you're saying.
Yeah,
she's there was
been
just this
unstable for
slow
a while.
descent, dude.
She just had other people to hold her back from doing those things, and now everyone's gone.
Yeah.
Everyone that was
Yeah.
a part of her little group are all dead
Brain
except for
trust or whatever.
Tyrion, which I assume that he's probably going to be dead next episode.
It's very plausible.
Okay, so then the other
I
part
also
of it is
question the time that she decided to get all pissed off and go nuts. Like the bells are ringing, everything's like there is no battle, there is no war. Like why didn't she just go in that way? Like and finish the job. Like what was this like little stop on the outer wall, kind of reflective, and then all of a sudden you see like, you know, the eyes to her soul just like
I think she probably just started thinking about all the things that she's lost because of it. I don't know, dude.
yeah.
and
It's just
Well, and I
between
think
it
there's
feeling
a-
rushed and like a betrayal of character development. Like that's the main reason I'm like kind of disappointed. I'm just like, come on, this. Anyway, say what you're gonna say, Rob.
As I'm watching that, I'm thinking to myself, this is the moment where everything that she has, this descent into I hesitate to say madness, but I guess that's what it is. Like this descent that she's gone on that I feel like has been foreshadowed and has been building for a while, finally comes at odds with sort of the stance that she took for the longest time, where she was like, we don't hurt women, we don't hurt children, like we don't hurt innocent people, all that stuff. And when those two things came at odds, like if she would have went in and just blasted the city from the very beginning, I think it wouldn't have been as powerful. But the moment that she's sitting there, the bells are rung, she owns the city. It's that moment where she decides, no, now it's going to burn. You know what I mean? And so like there was just, I don't know, to me it was, people would look at that and they'll say, you know, people have been up in arms about how lazy it is or how crappy it was or it was a betrayal. Like to me it was like such a cool character moment where I legitimately, that was like the final turn where I'm like, okay, she sucks. Like she needs to die.
Yeah.
She's bad news. And as a person watching, that's a sweet, like that's a very cool reaction to have. Like, I don't know, to me it stirred up a lot of stuff that I thought was really awesome. The other part of it, Jamie, this is a conversation that I was having with my buddy Adam Jones, because he was kind of disappointed with the way that that Jamie's story kind of ended, because it felt like to him like there was this long character arc and this story going towards redemption for Jamie, and then in the end, like he's just back. He's back with Cersei, and he's done. He dies and all that stuff. And like, I was more disappointed, I think, in that moment with the way that Cersei went down. I would have much preferred her to receive the Euron Greyjoy treatment rather than just getting something collapse on her. But for Jaime, I just thought it was such a sweet moment because here you have this guy who, like you said, like he started out as like a douche. He has this crazy arc, this crazy redemption where you think like he's going to be instrumental in maybe bringing it down or just like redeeming himself. And at the end of the day, when he comes face to face with the thing that pretty much always has held him back and he's always been a slave to, he's not strong enough to walk away or to do anything about it. He just succumbs to it, and that's how he dies. Like, it's rather than it being this cool, crazy arc and a like redemption story, it's this incredible tragedy of the way that he ends up wasting everything that he's been building over the last few seasons. I personally thought it was incredible. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. How
So
about the
disappointing.
Clegan Bowl?
Oh, baby. Talk to me. Talk to me about the Hound in the Mountain.
Yeah, dude.
Or the slap fight on Blackwater Bay.
Are you talking about when the Hound fought that big baby? Is that what you're talking about? As soon as the helmet came off, I was like, oh, dang, is it going to be Thor? And then it was just a big baby. It was a big baby head.
All I saw was Stave Puff Marshmallow Man.
It was
What
actually
do you call the Ghostbusters?
it was Thor with just a tiny bit of makeup.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Just they did something with they shaved his head. I think that's all they did, right? So, dude, Qyburn bites the bullet like in a very unexpected way. What did you think about that?
That was
getting
awesome,
thrust
dude.
into the rock.
I actually kind of laughed.
I did too. Like really hard, actually.
He just grabbed him and chucked him,
Well,
dude.
you know how I am.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that
Might as
was,
well have been a guy
Tossed like a rag doll.
oh yeah, that was hilarious, dude.
Might as well have been a guy going through traffic on a razor scooter. Is that what you're saying?
I thought it was hilarious.
I
You
wasn't,
obey your queen.
I wasn't mad about how the Hound went out.
No, I thought it was pretty
I knew
epic,
that was coming.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I mean,
him fighting the mountain, you actually see that there's nothing that can kill this dude that you can do to him that's going to kill him. Like, he's not even close to human anymore.
You'd probably take his head
he's
off.
just-
Yeah, but up above,
Yeah.
you probably could. But up before that, nobody has ever even gotten close. You have no idea really
Yeah.
what. I guess he got hit one time with like a mace or something, and I guess you kind of see it. But the dagger through the eye was, and I like Sanders. Oh, you got to be kidding me! Like laughing because he won't die.
He's just like, die, you. Why won't you die?
Yeah, I thought that part of the episode was pretty awesome. I like that fight. It was pretty epic, dude, with the dragon flying behind it, breathing fire and stuff, and
Oh yeah.
I thought it was cool.
So they fall from the keep. They fall down into the flames. Obviously, the Hound is probably gone. Do you think the mountain is gone? Do you think we will see him back in the next episode?
Dude, if he survives and the Night King didn't, there's definitely something wrong.
Oh, now there's something wrong.
Dude, I really haven't had a problem with how this has played out so far. And I think it's because I knew that anything was possible. And I don't know, man.
I came into it with like anything is possible too. I mean, literally, I did. They're gonna try and like do something different, like whatever. My disappointment isn't so much in the results as much as it's the application of those results. I think that's where most of my disappointment rests. Like I just feel like they either ran out of ideas, they got bored, or they just lost their way like Vikings.
Oh my gosh.
You tried to cram like this epic story, this ending of an epic story into 6 episodes, which probably all could have used at least 2 hours of storytelling, to be honest with you. If you really wanted to go this direction, You could have done it better. That's my biggest disappointment. Like, I just don't like the way it's been done, I guess, more than anything. But, it doesn't bother me. Like, there might be a lot of like Daenerys fans out there that are like super pissed off that she's turned into the Mad Queen. It's like, no.
I kind of, I don't know. Like you said, dude, there's been hints along the way.
But you've
where
seen
she
it
just
kind of
wants
like
to-
go in that direction just with the tension between her and Jon over the last
for
several
sure.
episodes. Like you felt like something bad was going to go down.
So there's really a lot to cover. There's a lot of characters that we are going to need closure on. Sansa, Samwell.
Yeah, how does
Tormund.
Sansa not tell Jon I told you so?
I mean, do you even think that the North is going to come into play in the final episode? Like, there's a part of me that
Probably
feels
not.
like
Probably
they're
not.
done. Like, they're good. They're done. We will know their fate based on what happens at King's Landing, right?
Well, there is no King's
There's-
Landing.
it doesn't
so
exist anymore.
They all have to move on
Touche.
somewhere.
So, okay, so let's.
What
so
if the
two-
next
two-
episode picks up like 20 years later?
I'm
gonna be so pissed, dude. 20 years later and just 1 hour long episode.
So two more characters. So Euron Greyjoy bites the dust. Talk to me. He has an epic battle with Jaime. How did you feel about that?
I thought it was kind of funny how he was like, I killed Jaime Lannister, and then he actually didn't.
Yeah.
A rock did. Or a lot of rocks.
But I mean, that was just like, that was a ploy for his narcissist ways.
Oh, that he's dying and he doesn't even
yeah. He doesn't
care.
even realize. Yeah.
He's so happy about it.
All I saw the entire time that they're fighting, that's my girlfriend. No, that's my girlfriend. That's my girlfriend.
And then, dude, Arya Stark. So this was a point of contention that I saw online as well. So there's a lot of people who had a really big issue with the fact that when her and the Hound are in the map room and he tells her, hey, go back. You don't want to become like me.
Right.
And she says, thank you. And then she actually runs and tries to escape. And everybody's kind of like, no, like you've been building her as this like BA, like killer. She's that close to Cersei. Like, why would she leave? Why would she do that? So talk to me about Arya. Was that weird for you? Did that ruin it? Does this make sense? What do you think?
I don't think it ruins it because we've had these instances in the past where she freezes or something happens. It happened in episode 3 when she got hit by that dead dude. And then she like freaked out, and that's when she went on the run instead of trying to fight anymore. It's not like this isn't something it hasn't happened before. It's not out of the blue. And she wasn't even technically running. It was just more of...
She was being pushed throughout the city is kind of what it felt like.
yeah.
Constantly. Josh, what do you think? Arya Stark.
I'm
Did
thinking
this
by
make
the end of
sense?
this show, she's going to be the only one left on her own list. So I'm wondering how that's going to
Kill
go.
herself.
Is Daenerys now at the top of her list?
Death by
based
a
on what
thousand
she's done?
stings.
She's definitely going to get Daenerys. That's where she's on her way to.
You think she's going to be able to kill Daenerys?
She's gotten close to her plenty of times before. I don't know why she
Yeah.
would.
I think she's already gotten her like main character victory. I don't think she gets another one. I think Jon's going to have to take out Daenerys.
Well, that's what I would hope for, but
Yeah.
maybe they kill
So-
each other and then Sansa sits on the Iron Throne.
Oh, baby.
Actually, that was a prediction I just gave my sister-in-law.
So I thought that the gold company was going to be this big deal.
Yeah.
It turned out to be nothing.
That new character that I was like, oh, he's a Targaryen. He's the guy that they're going to put on the Iron Throne. He's in there for 3 minutes, dude.
Is that the dude on the horse?
Yeah.
Who gets stabbed by Grey Worm?
Yeah. It was like this huge buildup of like, who is this guy? And then he was just gone. Dude.
that was just to throw you off, apparently.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was, dude. And it worked. Because I was betting on that dude.
Don't go place any money on anybody anytime soon.
So we're coming down to the end of our time here. So let's talk about, we got the finale coming next week. Okay. There's definitely some key players that are still in the game. We got Daenerys, we got Jon Snow, we got Tyrion, you got Arya Stark. Who's okay? What would be based on who's still in play? give me not only what would be your ideal, where in your mind you're like, this would be awesome if this happens, and then give me what do you think is actually going to happen. Drew, what do you think? Who's gonna come out victorious?
Oh man, I don't know. I have a feeling that Sansa's gonna wind up sitting on the throne.
Okay.
She's been kind of groomed for it. She learned from Cersei for a long time. She knows both sides of it, the honorable people and the ones who are just playing the game, you know.
Sure.
She's pretty smart. So I think it'll probably wind up being her. Who's going to kill Daenerys, Jon or Arya? Maybe Arya's going to do it and Jon kills Arya and then he kills Daenerys. Who knows?
Wait, say that one more time. Arya kills Daenerys?
No, she's going to. And then Jon kills Arya. And then he also has to kill Daenerys.
What? I thought she was already dead.
Why would she already be dead if someone was going to kill her?
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I didn't.
I said
that's
it twice.
Not the way I
Of
heard
what
it.
I was
that's
hearing-
not how I heard it.
Yeah, Arya kills Daenerys.
No.
Then
Arya
he kills
goes to
Arya,
kill-
but then he has to... Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, Josh, what do you say, man?
dude. I think I said it the other week. I'm done making predictions.
They never come true. Yeah. What's the point?
I did tell my sister-in-law this week though, like when we were talking about it, I told her that I thought that a really good setup would be for Sansa to take the throne. But then I'm just like thinking the best thing, man, is where no one gets the throne. Like what if nobody at the end of this show actually gets the throne?
And they're just 6 individual kingdoms now?
No, it's just it starts a whole new chapter in like the fighting over the throne without like any closure of someone actually getting the throne.
Okay.
That could happen.
That wouldn't rip the hearts out of anyone's chest more than that right there.
Yeah, that would be bothersome.
It really would be, especially for
How
those.
does it end?
Yeah, especially for those that wanted the White Walker King to be on the throne
Oh, yeah. That's already done.
and then see nobody.
I am going to go all in on Tyrion. I think that what I think would be cool is Tyrion sits on the throne. He and Sansa have a little bit of a thing, and so the North and the throne are, on good terms. That's
Too happy of an ending, man.
What if Tyrion
That's what I
kills Daenerys?
that would be so awesome. That's what I think will happen, that's what I think would be cool if it happened. But what I think is going to happen, I think Daenerys is going to win, dude.
And everything starts back where it began with the.
I think it's gonna. Yeah, I think it's going to end with she's going to have absolute power, and everybody that had her ear at one point is going to be done. Everybody's going to be dead. Daenerys will be in charge, and we're left to wonder what's going to happen to the North. That's what I
kill all of
That's
her
what I think will
council.
happen.
Just keep the military guys.
Yep, she's just going to have Grey Worm, and that's it. Just him and his Grey Worm, and that's it.
No worm.
Yeah.
We made
But
that joke
if-
last week
Yeah.
and the week before that, apparently.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably.
really?
Yeah.
3 weeks in
3
a row.
weeks in a row.
Nice.
Yep.
No worm.
There you go. Tic-tac-toe, baby. But if Tyrion gets on the throne...
And we
oh, man.
each independently did it too.
Nice.
That's awesome. All right, well, I think it's time to wrap it up, guys. So once again, thank you guys so much for listening and supporting the show. Make sure wherever you get your podcasts that you go and leave us a review, and a subscription there is always appreciated. Check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/youmehepodcast. $2 a month gets you access to exclusive audio, and it's that good stuff. So go check it out. And hey, until next week, I'm your host, Rob Lambert.
And thank you for putting up with us. This is Josh Frankenstein.
Drew Carroll. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Joshy Tata.